Okay, so here I have 4.17 pounds of pork shoulder, basically a country style rib. I paid $4.04 for it. I'm not going to use a ton of this. I'm going to probably only do about half and leave the other half. I'm gonna go ahead and take the other, wash everything, leave the other half out for another recipe. All right, so I'm gonna season my country ribs. I don't have my gloves on yet, but I just wanna get all the seasoning on there and then I'll mix everything in there. Of course, I'm gonna add some yummy garlic. You cannot have food without garlic. No, you really can. I mean, I know lots of people that don't like garlic, but I love garlic. So I'm gonna get a lot of that in there because you gotta remember there's ribs on the bottom that need garlic as well. So it may look like a lot, it's not a lot. I don't think I mentioned before, but I am gonna put some onion powder as well. So let's sprinkle that in, a nice little dusting of that. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of cumin. Just a little, I put a little too much, but that's okay. And get my pepper in here. And if you don't have fresh ground pepper, that's fine, but just putting some pepper in there. I think I got this one at Walmart. My aunt had it and I thought the flavor was just amazing, so I went and bought one. She lives right up the street from me. I'm here in Texas. Okay, that's all the seasoning I'm going to put on there right now. I'm going to put my gloves on and I am going to get to it. See, this is my first one. Again, same gloves that I used to kind of wash them off. I threw the other ones away, so this is a new glove, new pair of gloves. I'm just going to massage that and mix that in there. Yummy. Remember, I rinsed these off so to get off all that dust, that bone dust that's on here. Just get all this yummy flavor on here. See, even though I put a lot, the bottom has almost nothing on it. It's kind of hard. I think I'm gonna have my camera girl, my daughter here, grab a couple seasonings for me because this just is not enough. We need more seasoning than this. First, I'm gonna actually take this and I'm gonna take the one that has seasoning on this side. I'm gonna season it inside of my pressure cooker. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there because the pressure cooker is browning. Added some garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit of this taco seasoning. Just gonna kind of fill that up a little bit. Almost all the way to the top, and I'm gonna sprinkle that on there. This is sort of marinating until I can get them into the pressure cooker. This is, I think, more than enough seasoning. All right, so just gonna let those marinate for about an hour, and then I'm gonna get them in the pressure cooker. All right, so I'm gonna get started on my Mexican style pork. So I'm gonna do a shredded pork, and it's gonna go with my nopales or cactus that I've sauteed. If you want the recipe for the cactus, I will put a link in there so you can check that out. What I'll go ahead and do is I will get this started. I'm gonna saute a couple onions in here, and then I'm gonna add in my ribs. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. I'm gonna turn this on saute. So I'm gonna hit menu until it gets down to saute. I'm gonna get that started and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I'm using part of my leftover onions that I keep in my handy dandy container that I've reappropriated from my mother. And I started slicing them. They have a little bit of cilantro on them, that's fine. I'm gonna take off this outside skin layer. I'm gonna use a half of an onion, medium-sized onion. And I'm gonna saute this in with my ribs. I can already see that the Cuisinart is getting hot. I can smell the heat. Okay, so I'm gonna test it with a little bit of water and see. It is hot. I'm not gonna use any oil. I'm just gonna throw them in like this, rough chopped, thinly sliced. I am going to saute those up, kind of break them apart a little bit. And get those started. Okay, so my garlic here, I used the last of my garlic before, so what I'm gonna do is pop this one open. Hopefully I can get it open on camera. I need a hubby. I'll be back. Aha, I have a superhero in the house. My husband was able to get it open. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some garlic in here. And we like garlic, so like just a couple tips of that and pour a little bit of the garlic juice in there. And I always wipe down my jars before I put stuff away. Okay, this looks pretty good. And again, I didn't add any oil, just a little bit of that garlic oil from my jar. You can see the water is already starting to come out and evaporate there. And again, you don't have to measure anything. It's okay, just pour a little bit of water in there. Saute that up with water. You can add oil if you want to. This is Teflon, so you don't really need to spray it with nonstick. You can if you want nonstick spray or put a little oil, but I think water is fine. This is smelling amazing. I'm gonna let that hang out there for a few minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of my cumin in here. I added a little bit to the ribs, but I'm gonna go ahead and add some in here. Get some extra flavor. Layer your flavor, layer your flavor. I'm gonna add some onion powder. Add a little bit of my granulated garlic. I'm gonna stir this up a little bit. Release all that flavor in there. Whew. Definitely getting a steam facial here. I think this Cuisinart really does do a great job of sauteing. I think that the numbers, the cooking time are not exact. Again, I've only had this is my second day using this, but I'm cooking up a storm, trying to use it as much as possible just to kind of test it out. But it doesn't have the greatest cooking times, and I don't know. You know, I'm just following their recipe book, which their recipe book is kind of lacking on instructions. You know, their manual, but if anybody has any tips that has this Cuisinart, you can show the front of that. This is the Cuisinart, I think it's the 600, but I'll put the link below. I'm not complaining. It's still really good. I love that I can get stuff cooked really super duper fast. This is now my, I think, third or fourth meal in this today that I've cooked. So my camera girl, my daughter, said it's fourth. So pretty fast, and it didn't take that long. And we have huge meals with lots of leftovers, which is awesome. Just kind of doing some meal prep in a day and recipe testing for you guys. So here we go. Okay, look at that. That looks good. I'm gonna add my pork ribs in there now. And remember that these have been marinating for, I think, almost an hour. Want to show that? We added all kinds of yummy seasoning in there. So I'm just going to add those in there. And we're going to shred these up when it's all done. And remember, I wash these off because they're bone in. And when you have bone, you want to make sure that you get all that bone dust off of here. Okay, there we go. Just kind of layer those in there. Alright, and now I'm going to just add some more water. I'm going to turn it off for saute, but I'm going to add this water first. I am going to add a bouillon cube. You can add whatever kind of bouillon you want. I believe that my bouillon is a vegan bouillon. It's the only bouillon cube that I have right now. This is the one I have. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the whole thing in there and let it marinate and have fun in the party. Woohoo! And I'm gonna add some more water. And I am gonna cover. So we're gonna turn this on. It's gonna need about, we did 55 minutes the last time for our last pork ribs. This time we're gonna do 65 minutes and hopefully they'll be pull apart ready. So we're gonna go ahead and set that up. Grab the lid. Ooh, it's got all kinds of stuff on it, sediment on it. I think the sediment is because we have hard water. I live in Texas and the water is hard where we live. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set that on there. Hopefully get that locked. I can't see the other side. Locked. I'm gonna put that over here, set it to pressure so that dot lines up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and I'm gonna set this to high pressure and then I'm gonna set the timer for 60, let's do 65 minutes. And it goes up by 1 minute increments. Oh, well apparently I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do. Let me go back and look at that. Do 60 minutes. I think that's all it goes. Oh, 65. There we go. I'm going to hit start. And as soon as that little light blinks next to the number, you know it's started. All right, we'll come back in 65 minutes. All right, so the taco meat, the pork ribs are done. I'm gonna release the pressure. That is not fun, I'm just letting you know. That was not a genius invention. So we're gonna let that pressure come out. It's probably gonna be about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and check on the ribs. We'll be right back with you. Okay, so we're gonna, watch out. I'm gonna open this towards the camera person. There we go. Actually, I'm not, but there we go. Ooh, it is boiling goodness over there. Ooh, smells pretty good. Ooh, my camera person is giving me the thumbs up. Ooh, the meat is nice and tender. Looks like it's gonna shred apart pretty well. Looks pretty good. Wow. Okay, I'm just amazed because it smells so good. I'm not even talking. But it looks pretty good. Smells good, looks good. It is definitely, probably could do it a little bit longer to get it a little bit more tender, I think. I'm gonna have to do some research on that, but it's ready to go. We're gonna fry this up tomorrow. I'm gonna put it in a container and get it ready for tomorrow to fry up with the Nepalese, the cactus. So if you want more information, I'm gonna have the recipe for the Nepalese and I'll link it below so you guys can make that too. But we're gonna take care of this tomorrow because it's pretty late here and we've still gotta clean up all this recipe testing that we did today. So we will check back in with you tomorrow and finish up the recipes. Bye.